Hello and welcome to this bonus video on chess and trading Forex. This is Kirill Eremenko, and today we're going to have a very fun tutorial. We're going to walk through a few analogies. I'll give you examples of how trading Forex and chess are similar, and I will give you a lot of inspiration on why you should pursue this course on chess. I'm really excited that you rolled into this course. It's a great opportunity to develop some of the skills that are also present when you're trading Forex, and that's exactly what we'll look at today. But before we continue, what I would like to ask you to do is to download this video. This is a bonus video and it will be removed from this course within the next 24 hours. In fact, less than 24 hours left until this video is removed from the course. So make sure to download it because you have enrolled in the course through the special offer, meaning that you have access to this video. Nobody else will. It'll be gone in 24 hours. And in order to download this video, all you have to do is in this window, just click pause. So click pause, go to the top, like on this picture, go to the top right and find the button which is called View Resources. Click it, then click the download icon and then download the video. Now the name of the video here is a bit different because that is from a different course. This is an old screenshot, but your name of this video will be different, but nevertheless, go ahead and download it now. And you need to do this from your computer. You cannot do this from a mobile phone. And only once you've done from your computer and it's safely on your desktop or on your hard drive, then you will get to keep this video forever and refer to it whenever you need to in the future. So once you've done that, let's proceed with this video. All right, so what are we talking about today? Today's game plan. We're talking about two things. First of all, examples of successful traders who are also players. And by players, we mean, of course, chess players, but there will be a couple of other examples as well. And two, we will walk through 10 analogies between chess and Forex trading. That's right, I've prepared 10 analogies for you to show you how chess and trading are similar and how chess can help you develop the skills that are so crucial when it comes to trading. All right, so let's get to it. Some analogies or some examples of successful traders who are also chess players. So here we have Boaz Weinstein, and he's sitting here in the middle, and he's a $1 billion fund manager. So he's got a $1 billion fund, which is called Saba Capital Management. And he's a chess master. And here you can see him. That's Boaz Weinstein. And that is Gary Kasparov. And that is Anatoly Karpov. So those are the two world chess champions right next to him. So as you can see, like they're all in one room, and Boaz Weinstein is just there casually playing some chess with them. So this is a person who is managing a $1 billion fund, and that says a lot by itself. All right, so the next person here is Peter Thiel. So if you don't know Peter Thiel, he's Peter Thiel, and he's the co-founder of PayPal. And at present, he's running a $700 million fund, which is called Clarium Capital. He's also a billionaire, so his net worth is $2.8 billion, and he is also a chess master. Another example over here is David Berman. So David Berman is running a $100 million fund. It's called Berman Capital Management. And he's not a chess master, he's just a chess enthusiast. However, there's a great article written about him from 2014. It's about him and chess trading, and he specifically outlines all of his success and how quite a lot of it is actually attributable to how he has been playing chess, what he's learned from chess, all the different skills and techniques that he's learned from chess that he's taken away and implemented in his trading world and in his life in general. So check out that article. If you just search for David Berman chess on Google, you should be able to find it. And it's a great read. It's very inspirational in terms of how trading and chess are connected. So that's 3 examples of chess players who are successful traders. This list could go on for a while, but I wanted to give you a bit of a different example. So here we've got 2 people that you might recognize. We've got Warren Buffett, and he's sitting next to Bill Gates. And Warren Buffett, of course, we know Warren Buffett. He's a trading legend, and currently he is the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. And he's a billionaire, $65 billion in net worth, and he spends 12 hours a week playing bridge. Now, of course, bridge is not chess, but I wanted to give you this example to show you that other games are also valid in this approach. So a bridge is a very strategic game. You also have to think a lot, even though I haven't played bridge, but I've maybe read a bit about it. So it's kind of also a game that develops those same skills that we're going to be talking about. So if you're interested in any other game, that might work as well. But here we're going to be focusing on chess, because chess is such a simple game, and you can play it with anybody. You can play it online, and it's easy to learn, it's easy to master, and a lot of people are already into chess. I won't be surprised if you already know the basics of chess and you've played a game or two. All right, so moving on. Analogies between chess and trading. So let's look at the 10 analogies. What do we have here? Analogy number 1, pattern recognition. Okay, so in trading, as we know, there's a lot of pattern recognition involved, and that is exactly what we're after. So especially in technical analysis, pattern recognition allows you to exploit some inefficiencies in the market. It's, once you see a pattern, a recurring pattern, and then you can actually attempt to exploit that pattern to gain profits. But in chess trains you to recognize patterns. So once you've played lots and lots of games, and you've seen lots of not lots, but you've seen a few tutorials on how to recognize these patterns, you will be able to actually, your brain will train to find these patterns in the chess game and exploit them. So when your opponent is making a mistake, he's making or the pieces are set up in a certain way, you will know you can exploit that pattern. And that reaction, that kind of visual recognition and then reaction to that is something that directly transitions onto the Forex market because of that similarity. So pattern recognition is our analogy number 1. Analogy number 2, be comfortable with the unknown. So just like in trading, in chess, often you don't know what's going to happen because you don't control everything. Your opponent controls as much as you control. He controls 50% of the moves, 50% of the pieces, well, at the start anyway. And so there's a lot that is not in your control. And chess teaches you, or makes you become more and more comfortable with that unknown state of things, when not everything is under your control, and eventually you become fine with it. You just rely on your decisions to drive the game in the direction you want, but you're still comfortable that things might go not where you want them to go, and you react accordingly, and you make decisions as things happen. So it's a good similarity, because it's different to other kind of things where everything is known in advance, or there's a certain series of steps that have to be performed from A to B. Here, the ways the game and both your trading can, or any given trade can happen, there are numerous ways things can happen on the market, and it's good that chess helps you develop this comfort with the unknown. Analogy number 3, calculate probabilities. So speaking of unknown, right, you might not know exactly where things are going to go, but you have a certain understanding of what the options are, which way the game might go. So if you make this move in chess, what will happen, and what can your opponent do? He can make this move, or he can make that move, and can make that move, and then how you will react. So thinking a few steps ahead and calculating the probabilities of each of those pathways. So that is very similar to Forex trading as well, because you're never 100% certain what's going to happen, but you can somehow measure based on your trading strategy or the market situation or some other analysis that you've performed. You can measure or try to understand and estimate the probabilities of these different scenarios occurring, and therefore structure your trading strategy accordingly, taking into account those probabilities. So calculating probabilities in chess and in Forex trading, that's similarity or analogy number 3. Analogy number 4, weighing up risk versus opportunity. So once again, in trading, we have to always understand what is our opportunity, or what is our potential reward from a trade, and what is the risk that is associated with that trade. And we have to weigh those up, and it's always a trade-off. If we're after more profit from a trade, then we might have to be taking on more risk. On the other hand, if we take on less risk, then we might get less reward. And in chess, there are similar scenarios when you are in a situation where there are different moves, and you know that maybe one is less risky, but it won't lead you to directly winning the game or even gaining a material advantage, whereas the other one is a bit more risky, but it will allow you to either win the game or gain that material advantage that will later allow you to win the game. So it helps you understand how to weigh these up and understand how to deal with this trade-off of risk versus opportunity. Analogy number 5 improves decision making. So exactly that, what we've talked about, because you cannot calculate the results of all possible moves. You cannot predict everything that's going to happen. Your decision has, like, once you've made it, you've made it. And it's a very, like, both in trading and in chess, it's a very big thing to make a decision, because you know that now you are kind of selecting the pathway that this whole game or this whole trade is going to go down, because you've made this decision. Had you made a different decision, the result would have been different. And for some people, that kind of control or that the choice they have to make can be difficult at times. It can be very stressful to make that choice and then live with it, that always thinking back, what could have happened if I did this or I did that. So chess actually helps you psychologically, in the sense it allows you to, over time, get more and more comfortable with this decision-making process. That yes, I have made this decision. Yes, I bear all responsibility for this decision, but I'm comfortable with it. I'm not looking back and I'm not second-guessing my decision all the time. Because yes, of course, you can develop that same comfort with trading over time. I'm quite positive of that, but it might cost you. It might cost you time, and if you're not doing it on a demo account, which is probably better to do on a demo account. If you're not doing it on a demo account, it can even cost you financially. And when you're dealing with money, the stress levels are much higher. Whereas in chess, you can develop this comfort with making this decision and not second guessing it through just playing chess, which is, unless you're playing for money, which ultimately isn't that impactful on your psychology, and it won't, turn you into somebody who is always perpetually depressed. So it's a good training ground in that sense, psychological training ground for decision making. Analogy number 6, tactical versus strategic thinking. So both in chess and in Forex, they are tactics and their strategies. So for instance, in chess, like what's happening right now in these next couple of moves, and what's going to happen over the whole game. So what's your strategy? Are you attacking on the left? Are you attacking on the right? Are you moving out your rooks? Are you moving out your knights? Are you trying to get the queen? Are you trying to do this and that? But everything then, that whole strategy breaks down into tactical maneuvers. So that is chess, and in Forex trading, tactical and strategics, like you would think, like, what is your overall strategy for the month or for the season or for or the overall strategy that you're undertaking? So like, what currency pairs are you trading? Is the trend up or is the trend down, and so on? But then everything you do within the day or within every single trade can be broken down into tactical maneuvers. Once again, well, we might call them tactical maneuvers, just like in chess, to understand, exactly how because every trade can, even within one strategy, trades can be different from each other, and therefore you might apply different tactics to them. And that is also a great analogy, which allows you to practice tactical versus strategic thinking within chess, and then apply something similar in Forex trading. Analogy number 7, all about the result. So just like in chess, in Forex, the end result is what is important. Does your trading strategy bring you profits overall, right? Does it bring you profits, consistent profits in the long run? That's the end result we're always aiming for in Forex. Whereas in chess, the end result is to win the game. So in chess, imagine you could lose a piece, lose your queen somewhere through the game, which is by far the most powerful piece on the board, but you could still win the game in the end, right? So once again, speaking of strategy versus tactics, you might sacrifice some pieces to win the game ultimately. And not that I'm saying that you got to sacrifice anything on the Forex market, but it trains that type of thinking that, like every single trade is not a trade is not the end result. Like for me, for instance, every single trade is not the end result. The end result is consistent profits over the long run. And also ties in back to strategy versus tactics. Like the end result is that my strategy is successful. The tactics that I employ, they help that strategy and ultimately push it forward. So thinking about the end result, chess definitely helps you out with that as well. Analogy number 8, a loss is not the end, but a lesson. Speaking of the end result and speaking of every single trade. So a lot of traders make this mistake that they think every single trade has to be profitable. Well, that's not going to happen. From my experience, losses are inevitable. It is very, very hard, if not impossible, to trade always profitably. So a lot of traders make this mistake. They think, oh, I've made a loss. They get upset about it, and that's the end of the day for them, or that's, the end of their trading or whatever. It's not the case. Like, losses are fine as long as they tie in with your trading strategy. And same thing in chess. Like, if you thinking of chess in a broader sense, not just in the sense of one game, but chess is an activity or a hobby. If you lose one game in chess, it's not the end of the world, because you go and play a new game the next day, or 2 days later, or even the same day. You can play 10 blitz games in a couple of hours. But so from every single loss in chess, you've still learned something. You've performed all the moves, you've analyzed, and you can always look back. And this is the part I like most, that you can always look back and understand, why did I lose? Where did I make that mistake? Same thing in Forex, right? If a trade went, you lost a trade, you can always look back and understand, oh, what did I do wrong? Or, is this in line with my trade strategy? Did I step away from the rules that I usually use, and things like that? So, that's a great analogy as well, that a loss is not the end, but a lesson. Analogy number 9, practice makes better. I'm not going to say practice makes perfect here, because you can never be perfect, but practice makes better. So a practice in chess makes you better, and it's good to develop that understanding that the more you practice in chess, the better you get. Same thing in Forex trading. Like, if you practice on a demo account, like, it's all virtual money, so it's safe to practice. Once again, you have to be doing any practice kind of activities on a demo account. And you practice on demo account, of course, you're going to get better with time, because you are gaining more and more and more experience. So in that sense, chess and trading are similar. And what do we have? Analogy number 10. So historical study. Chess allows you to look through games played previously by other people, and you look through them, you understand the patterns, you understand the tactical maneuvers, and so on. Same thing with Forex. You can look at historical data and understand what was going on with the market, how you would have moved here, or how you would have traded here and there, and what patterns you are seeing in different scenarios. So in that sense, historical study is similar across chess and trading. So let's quickly run through these one more time so that we have all of them fresh in our minds. So where did we start here? So analogy number 1, pattern recognition. Great analogy, and definitely in this course, attacking tactical maneuvers in chess, you will find a lot of different patterns right away for you to take home and start practicing in your chess game. Analogy number 2, be comfortable with the unknown. Analogy number 3, calculate probabilities. Analogy number 4, weigh up risk and opportunity. 5, improves decision making. 6, tactical versus strategic thinking. Once again, in this course, you will find a lot of tactical maneuvers which will help you boost your chess game right away. All about the result. That's analogy number 7. Analogy number 8, a loss is not the end, but a lesson. Analogy number 9, practice makes better. That's for sure. And analogy number 10, historical study. So also in this course, you will find lots and lots of examples of games played by grandmasters of chess and how they went about their game, and that will also boost your chess. I hope now you're totally enthusiastic about this course and you will get to it right away. It's going to be a fun and epic journey. Mark covers a lot of very valuable chess strategies, advice, tactical maneuvers, and so on in here. And plus, from what you've seen in this tutorial, this will ultimately help improve your thinking, that part of your brain that is also used in thinking when trading. All right, hope you enjoy the course, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, happy trading.